Hi everyone. This is a tutorial in using Celtx. We are going to be using this program pretty extensively throughout the course, and a variation of this is used by professionals as a way of outlining the shots they're planning on taking for a certain project. Ideally, using Celtx or a similar approach, you can plan out a video from start to finish. And your plan should be detailed enough, listing shot types and description of what's happening and dialogue, so that someone else could easily open up your project and go ahead and make what you're hoping to see. You have a pretty simple interface, and if you've used anything from Google, it looks very, very similar. Let's take a quick look at what we'll be making. Here is an example of a public service announcement, and it's called Invest in Maine's Future. This is pretty basic. We have a header, which could either be the header of the project, or which, because this is so short, or the scene header. So if we were working in multiple locations, this would be the scene. We have a shot type, and this is an extreme close-up of a welder's hand with a torch, and a time, 3 seconds. And then we have a voiceover, and this is dialogue, or the character. And that is scripted, so those are the exact words that will be recorded. We go to another extreme close-up, to finally a medium shot of a young woman talking about being in electrical programs, looking off camera. So a fair amount of detail. Even down to the closing, where we close with our client's logo and then our own school logo and the text that will appear there. If you add up all these numbers, and I would do that quick, but I'm not a whiz at math, you'd come up with pretty close to 30 seconds, I think, which is about what this project is running. So let me show you how to get going on your own plan. You've made a Celtx account, you've gotten into it, and you've recorded your username and password so that you can get back to this time and again. This keeps all your documents, and you can share them as well. So let's start by creating, and we're going to pick AV script. Okay. Give it a name. Because I'm working with a lot of you, it would be very helpful to have your name in this. This is called PSA Invest and Dave and Team. And just say OK, and we're going to start this right off. So here's my project. Let's take a look. Alright, the first thing is a scene heading, and rather than the title, because we already have this up here, I'm going to set up the scene, and this is going to take place in the machine room. So actually, I like it better. Yeah, machine shop. Okay, and then simply return, and we get to the first shot. List your shots in all caps. I think you'll find that it's very helpful to make them stand out. So I'm going to do a wide shot, and it's going to show the full shop. With subject in lower right of frame, and he's looking at machine, directing viewers to the left across screen. It's going to last, let's say, it's going to last 5 seconds, but I'm going to add one more thing. I'm going to make this zoom in after I shoot it. Okay, I'll shoot the shot and then move in later. So I'm going to say motion zoom to subject. Alright, and that's 5 seconds. Now, I just pushed return, and you'll see up here it changed to character. If I push return again, it'll take me back to shot. Celtx gives you these options: shot, so screen heading, shot, character, dialogue, and parenthetical, which are your notes. You get to these all by hitting tab or return. So let's make another shot. This one's going to be an extreme close-up, and it's going to be the student's eyes. And I'm going to make that 2 seconds. Now let's hit return. Let's see what happens when you keep hitting return. I made one return. It was character. The next is shot. Scene heading. Shot. Scene heading. So we go back and forth between those two. If I was to, let's hit another return at shot. If I hit a tab, it would take me to character. Or a second tab would take me to dialogue. And finally, it would take me to a parenthetical. So let's say that, let's erase this back up, get to right there. So I've made this shot 2 seconds, and again, this is a note, okay? I'm just going to hit the tab and show you what happens. Tab once, we get to character. We tab twice, and notice it changed to all caps, now lower, dialogue, and finally they put this in parenthetical, so it made this a note, not a shot. So we'll put it back, and it is now a shot. Now, let's say if right here, all right, let's say this was, for kicks, 8 seconds, and right here I wanted it instead of a next shot. I wanted to have a voiceover. A voiceover is when we hear a voice over the footage. We do this afterwards in the box, and it's going to say something like every year approximately 3,000 students drop. Whoops. Now, I made a little change here. You'll see I stayed in all caps, and I didn't want to be. I wanted to be in all caps for this. So I'm going to tab, and now it's dialogue. Okay, so this should not be all caps. It's ready to read. But let's say I have some facts that drop out in Maine, and I want to say technical education can change that. Okay, or I might have a better voiceover that might say something like technical education, and you'll see I'm in the wrong frame. I'm in character. I want to be in dialogue, so I'm going to tab once. Technical education prepares thousands of Maine students for success in college. And maybe I want to go on a bit, okay? But either way, that's the voiceover. Then I may want to go to another shot, so I'm going to pop a return, and I'm back at another shot. So now perhaps this one's going to be a close-up, and let me get back to my cap locks, and it's a close-up shot, and who knows what, we're going to watch a part being machined by student. And that's not great descriptive writing, but that's the general idea. So let's make this shot 4 seconds, and we'll go into a series and perhaps add a title screen and other things like that. So that, in quick description, is Celtx. Now, it's the kind of thing where you really need to play with a little bit. See what happens when you hit tabs. Alright, that's a full cycle of tabs. Take a close look at your writing, make sure you're actually writing well. You can print this out, you can add notes, you can change the text. We can kind of stay away from these things. One of the keys here is you can save it. You can also share it. I'm sorry, you can undo. Let's save this first before we do anything else. So I've now saved it, and if you are working with a team, you may actually want to add a few people to this. And it's very helpful to do that so that if you are working with a team and you're not in tomorrow, they can get to it. I will ask that you share it with me as well. And my email is boardman@mmtc.me. And that's how you'll get scored on this. Okay? So the score for this is relatively straightforward. You need to produce a plan using Celtx for a public service announcement that guides us through a 30-second PSA. Go absolutely no more than 30 seconds and no less than 25 seconds. All right, so you have a 5-second window to play with, and that is your charge. We will actually shoot these. Okay, this will be your first big project, and so you want to spend some time making these plans as good as you can be. When you're developing the project and doing the shooting, you're going to work right off this. So if you make a plan and then you're going to shoot, you've got to work off this plan. Okay, so figure out what's going to work. Take a look around. Think about the school. Think as well about why you are here and what you are hoping to accomplish. And that may help guide you to really produce something solid. All right? So, any questions, absolutely ask. Definitely do play around with this, and we'll see where it takes us.